Okay.
Right. Tennessee Tech head coach Dewayne Alexander, the Golden Eagles, coming off the season opening loss at Samford. They're going to play another Southern Conference team, but they'll be at home this time. They're going to host Furman, who had a big win over number 24 North Carolina A&T this past week. So, Coach, I guess just some general thoughts on your team, and then we'll get into some questions.
First off, hats off to Coach Hatcher and his staff and of course, Mitch Stewart, who used to be at Murray State. Both guys were at Murray, and they're now at Samford. Of course, Coach Hatch is the head coach, and Mitch is the offensive coordinator. But they have a very good football team, very good offensive football team. Their fifth-year quarterback, Lim Welch, is an All-American candidate. He's outstanding. He really commands their offense well. They have an excellent trio of receivers, a big tight end, and a very good offensive football team. The score is 17-13 with 7 minutes and 54 seconds left in the third quarter. 17-14, and we have them in a 4th and 3. And had an opportunity to make a play, tackle for loss in the backfield, and just didn't quite make the play. They picked up the first down and went on to score on that drive to make the lead 24-14. And then we have a penalty on the next drive that negated a first down. And then, they hit another play on us, and really the floodgates kind of opened after that, and like I told our team, and we played 40 minutes of the game to where we're toe-to-toe and have a chance to win the game, and really had not played well. We'd had a shotgun snap, 20-plus yards over the quarterback's head. We'd had some procedural penalties and just some things that really kind of shot our own self in the foot. And, in the down 17-0, we responded with a 12-play drive right before half to make it 17-7. We get the opening kickoff of the third quarter and go another 12-play drive to make it 17-14. And then the scenario I just alluded to, our defense had them in a 4th and 3 and wasn't able to make that stop. But, I told our team in our team meeting, and, I've been doing this, a long time as a coach. And, at the end of the day, we're not going to let 20 minutes define our team, define our season, or define our football program. We're more of the 40 minutes, okay, that we played. We've certainly made a lot of strides in our program, in the last 20 minutes of that game are not something that set well with me. I was disappointed with. I know our players were as well. Fortunately, we've all been smiled upon and blessed with the opportunity to still have our health and to have the opportunity to respond to it with a big home game. You can't keep your head down long in college football. You got 11, 12 games, and they go back to back to back, and your opponent's not going to feel sorry for you or anything else. You got to assess it. You got to take ownership of things that happen that we can all do better as coaches and as players. And then we got to roll our sleeves up and go to work. We have an outstanding team coming in here this weekend. Our home opener, Clay Hendricks and Furman, Samford and Furman both receiving votes in the top 25, and very, very good football team. Traditionally, Furman's always an outstanding team. They beat a ranked opponent in our opening game in North Carolina A&T last week, so we know we're going to have our hands full. We had a really good practice on weightlifting and film session on Sunday. Really good practice yesterday on Labor Day, and had a good practice this morning. We were on the field early this morning at 6:50 in practice. So we rolled our sleeves up. We put it behind us. I'm a big believer the windshield is always bigger than the rearview mirror. I mean, it is. And so there's a reason in that. You got to look in the rear view to just kind of keep perspective of where you've been. But our main focus is on what's ahead. Every goal that we have for this football season is still out there. Everything that we had set to accomplish this season and goals for our program are all still there. One game does not make a season, one non-conference game. Quite honestly, we needed to play a game. As I alluded to, we don't get scrimmages. We don't get to work against anybody else. So we really needed a game to really assess this team. And I think we'll see a lot of growth in the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles from last Thursday night down in Birmingham to what we'll see here in Cookeville at 1:30 on Saturday.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. We'll go to some questions. I know Ben has some, so go ahead, Ben.
Coach, you kind of alluded to it, but do you think having your first home game this week helps? I mean, I know you said you're already past it, but do you think having a home game this week helps you guys?
Well, I certainly, I think it's better than going on the road again. I think that's for sure. Getting to play at home in front of our fans. I think that's a big deal to get to play at home and have a home opener here, will be nice. And, I think after having the road trip and playing a Thursday night game, think about those night games, especially during the week. We played a Thursday night game, and by the time we got packed up and loaded up, we didn't leave out of Birmingham till about 10:30 And we got back home, around 2:45 a.m., 3 a.m. And our guys have got classes on Friday, and everything else, so it takes you a couple of days to recover from those. So I'm glad it was a Thursday night game and not a Saturday night game. Those are a little tougher to recover from, but we've had, having Labor Day, not having classes yesterday, we were able to, assess some injuries and get some guys in the training room and have a really good opportunity as a staff to go through this film with a fine tooth comb and to meet with our players about it and put it behind us and start this week fresh, getting ready for Furman.
And then, Coach, I know you only got one game to look at from this season, but what were some of the things that jumped off the film at you?
Some positive things, that I saw. I still like the way our guys, competed there for 3 quarters. Our offensive line is much improved from the spring. We had a lot of issues just with injuries and some COVID issues and things in the spring to where we really never put a consistent offensive line on the field the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Offensive line, I thought, did some really nice things in the game. We were able to, to run the football effectively at times. They picked up some blitz stuff, well. I tell you, the speed of what they play with, the pace of how fast they play is very hard to simulate in practice. Their quarterback was excellent. Our DBs competed well. They have excellent receivers. I think our defensive backs will grow a lot from this game. We're still playing freshmen in a lot of positions there. Jai Gilmore is still a freshman. Naquan Washington is still a freshman who got his first college start. And then Cam Hudson's just a sophomore. Playing against excellent receivers certainly will help them be better. I was really proud of our defensive line. I thought our defensive front played outstanding. They really got after their offensive line, did a nice job up front, with some things. They're a hard team to get pressure on because they get rid of the ball so fast. But our defensive front really, we were able to, keep their run game in check. It was really a couple of big pass plays, that hurt us, some explosive plays in the game. We had 6 explosive plays for 117 yards in the game. They had 8 explosive plays for 250 yards, one of those being a punt return with their All-American punt returner in Washington, number 4. So, you look at the explosive plays, we only had 1 turnover in the game. Of course, it led directly to a touchdown. We took care of the ball at the running back position and really took care of it reasonably well. We just didn't force any. They didn't have any turnovers. So we played a really good football team on the road to start the season. There's no doubt. You can't let one game, certainly the fourth quarter of the game is something I'm very disappointed in. When we had a chance there, we had responded in the third quarter and we had a chance to respond in the fourth quarter a time or two. And we, just didn't do it. We had a couple of injuries at certain positions that piled up on us there a little bit. And, we kind of lost our stinger there in the fourth quarter. And that's something we've not done around here, that we didn't do in the spring, that's for sure. But I do believe in our team. I believe in our staff. I believe in our players. I believe in what we're doing. There's no doubt that we're doing the right things in this program. There's no doubt that we have good talent in this program, good young talent in this program, and this team will come together and will continue to get better. And we will have I look for us to respond well on Saturday. You're going to see a lot. I think a 4-quarter effort out of this team that the Golden Eagle fans are used to seeing. So I'm excited about playing Furman and having a chance to get back on the field.
What are some of the things you see when you look at Furman?
Well, Furman's well coached as always. They're always, typical of their program over the years. Furman's been in the national championship game. They've won Southern Conference championships. They have a long history of former Furman players, being coaches there. They have a lot of deep, rich tradition and history there. They play that way. They play very hard. They play very disciplined. They're not a team that beats themselves. Very typical of many of the Southern Conference schools. They play a style that, they take care of the football. They're going to line up sound. They're going to be gap sound on defense. Offensively, they're going to take care of the ball. They run the football. They're able to throw the football. But they're just very sound fundamentally, very sound in the kicking game. They're going to make you earn a victory over them. They're not a team that's going to come in here and have 12 or 13 penalties and turn the ball over 4 or 5 times. That's just not who they are week in and week out. They're a team that's going to come in and play sound fundamentally. They're going to be very disciplined and they're going to play hard and through the snap of the whistle. And really how their team plays is how I love to see the Golden Eagle play and how I've seen us play in the past. Same way where we minimize penalties, we play disciplined football. We make the other team, if they're going to win, then they're going to have to earn it. Okay, so Those are things I see. They got an experienced quarterback who does an excellent job. They got a All-American candidate at tight end. They have a lot of really good skilled offensive players. Running back wise, they have an excellent depth. Very impressed with their offensive line and a total different style for us. They run some option, they run some triple option concepts at time. Their offensive line is in a 3-point stance, back flat, coming off that football. We've been playing against a team, against Sanford, who's pretty much in 2-point stances, and they're throwing the football, a lot. Furman loves to run the football. They're a run-first team, and everything that they do is off them being able to successfully run the football, their play action, and those type things. But very impressed with their team. A lot of respect for their staff, for Clay Hendricks, George Coral's offensive coordinator. They've got several coaches on their staff I've known for a long, long time. They're quality guys and quality men, and they'll have their team ready to play and be excited to come over here to Cook.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for being flexible, and best of luck this weekend. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Hey, thank you, Kyle.